everybody likes to get computing equipment and cables and things for as cheaply as possible. Now the usual rule applies here: you only get what you pay for. Or does it? Well, I'm going to talk for a few minutes just about computing equipment that you can get for cheap and is reasonable quality. So there's some obvious places to start with. eBay, obviously, online auction sites. You can turn up some good bargains there. You can get sort of end of line stuff, things that maybe would have cost you a bit more a few months ago. So if you're looking for reasonable or good quality components for cheaper than you might have paid at the shops, then yeah, I think online auctions are a good place to start and have a look. But not everyone likes doing online auctions, of course, because there's a lot of caveats to that. First obvious one being is, can you trust who you're buying from? Are they going to tell you the truth? Are they saying this is a fine piece of equipment that's working perfectly? And are you then going to receive it and find that it isn't, it doesn't work, or it's not quite up to the standard that you was led to believe it was? The problem in the UK anyway, with sales like this, is that you don't really have much comeback. The general message from trading standards on something like that is buyer beware. In other words, if you go and buy something like that and there is a problem with it, there isn't a whole lot you can do about it. So some other places, you've got other obvious ones like boot sales, jumble sales. And those are okay, but if you go to boot sales and jumble sales, you don't really know beforehand what's going to be there, so you might be going there and just wasting your time. Another one is charity shops. Again, same problem. You don't know what's going to be there. It's more a case of being in the right place at the right time. And also, again, here in the UK, there's a law which means that any electrical equipment sold in a charity shop has to have been tested beforehand, which is why if you go into a lot of charity shops, they just won't have any sort of major sort of electrical items. You won't find TVs or VCRs or computers or anything like that in most of them. There are some that are exceptions to this. Some of them have their own engineer or someone that will come in and test the stuff and put one of them little stickers on it saying it's been tested. But generally, no, you won't find that. You might turn up some small sort of items like a mouse or a joystick or something like that. But again, you don't really know beforehand what's going to be there. It's just a case of going in there. Just if you happen to be there at the right time and you see it, then that's great. But it's not something that it's very likely to happen, really, is it? So you want to get computer equipment. You want something that's or cables or whatever. And you want to get something that's reasonably priced or as cheap as possible. So where else can you go? Well, the obvious place after all the other places we've been through are, or maybe it's not so obvious, are the £1 or 99p shops, as we call them here in the UK. I'm sure they've got shops like this elsewhere in the world. So these are the shops where you go in there and everything's £1 or 99p. And they used to have a bit of a bad reputation. It used to be, if you go in there, the stuff's going to be crap. It's going to have been turned out somewhere out in maybe China or somewhere in Asia. The quality of it's not going to be very good. It used to be a bit of a joke. If you bought something from the pound shop, it probably wasn't going to last 5 minutes. It's going to fall to bits or explode or something like that. So people used to tend to avoid stuff from there, and if you bought anything from there, then you probably didn't admit to it. But things have changed now. I think probably because of the explosion of stuff that's coming out of China, and the quality of stuff coming from places like China now has just improved massively. And you can actually pick up some really good stuff now in these shops. Just as an example, I've got an example here. This is a USB hub. It's 4-way. It's got 4 ports on it. Now, if you go online, these vary in price from about £5 to £10 for a reasonably good quality one. Now this was from, I won't say who it's from, so I don't want to give out any free advertising, but it's from one of those shops that sells everything for £1, so you probably know the shops I'm talking about. So, yep, this is, you can see that, there you are. Just trying to obscure their name, don't want any free advertising, but yeah, that's it. USB hub. It's not very exciting to look at, I know, but I just wanted to show you it. And that was £1. And I've actually used a couple of these now on various projects. And I have to say that they do exactly what they're made to do. Everything seems to work fine on there. There's no problems with it. They haven't died. I mean, the one I'm using at the moment, I've been using it now for, well, it must be over a year now. It works fine, no problems. Yeah, can't fault it. So, other cables I bought from pound shops include, I bought a USB extension cable. Again, I bought it because I wanted to extend the length of a cable on the webcam actually, so that I can move it around better. And it works absolutely fine. Can't fault it at all. I guess when you think about it, it's quite a simple thing. It either works or it doesn't. So it works. And again, it was a 3-metre cable for £1. So, you know, can't complain at all. Other stuff as well. One thing I will say is, if you are someone who likes to maybe watch DVDs, or you know you're a bit of a film buff, and you think, I'll go and get my video and audio cables from there, because they do have stuff like that, you know, SCART leads, aerial cables, audio cables, you know, what do you call them, the phono cables, I think. I can't remember the name now, but I know. I think I would remember really, because I use them a lot. But you might sort of go in there and see them there and think, wow, you know, these cables for £1, 5-metre audio cable for £1. The only thing I will say is that I tend to find that, because well, it depends. I mean, if you're not a fussy person, if you just want an audio cable that, you know, you can hear something on it, then you're going to be fine. You know, if you just want to get sound, then, you know, it's not going to be a problem. By all means, go and buy a cable from the pound shop or wherever you can get it cheapest. The only downside I will say about these types of cables is that I find that they're not quite up to the standard of maybe something that you'd pay more for. So I think the rule, you know, you get what you pay for, I think definitely applies with audio and video cables. As an example, I bought an audio cable. I think it wasn't from a pound shop. It was from one of these shops that, you know, does stuff really cheap, and it was £1.99, and it was about, I think, like 6 or 7 meters audio cable. And it worked fine for a couple of days, but I noticed it started to develop a buzzing sound in the background, which just sort of gradually got louder and louder. I don't know if that's the cable's deteriorating or what. But now I just use it as something, if I just need to, you know, test something quickly and see if there's any sound coming through, then I'll probably use that cable, but I wouldn't use it in something like a home cinema setup, or something, you know, if I was using it, maybe use it from the computer to the hi-fi, you know, listen to MP3s through the hi-fi or something like that, because it's just an irritating noise. And also I'm quite fussy about things like that anyway. You know, I think if I'm going to be spending a couple of hours listening to something, I want it to be, you know, as good as I can possibly get it.